Hey guys, John from Keto Bars here. Have you ever heard the phrase "make yourself available to get lucky"? I used to use it all the time, and I've since I don't say it anymore because I don't really believe in luck when it comes to business or any type of success. I don't think relying on luck is the right thing, but I think that there's so much prep work that you can do to make yourself available for cool opportunities or special things to happen. So today specifically, I wanted to talk about how tomorrow I'm on a podcast with Keto Connect. And Keto Connect, if you don't know who they are, they have a really big YouTube channel. They have a blog. They do recipes. They have a massive following on all social media platforms. And I did a video with them on YouTube. Molly and I did it like a year ago. You can find it if you just search, I think if you just search Keto Bars on YouTube, you can find it. But we talked about a bunch of different stuff, and it was really fun. It was cool. Of course, Matt and Mega, the two people that run the channel, they're great. So it's really fun to just hang out with them in general. But I reflected a little bit. They asked me to be on their podcast, and I wanted to be prepared. Honestly, it's something that I could probably just show up to, or log on and get my mic ready and do and wing it, and I'd be fine. But there's certain things that I take pretty seriously within Keto Bars or my personal life and in business, and a lot of it I think it'd be easy to pass up, but I like to focus really heavily on it. So a good example for me would be that, or maybe in society, is that like an athlete, if they want to be the best, well, they train, they go to the gym, they practice, they do all this different stuff, because when that special opportunity is available, they want to put their best foot forward, right? So you know that on game day, you want to be ready to go. And when it comes to my business, there's just a couple things that I want to be ready for, and I want to do super, super well. So in this podcast, I was trying to think of ways that I could be really well prepared for it. And these are the things that I did. So first, they have 55 episodes out already. I've probably only listened to 5 of them casually, just because I follow their content. So there's 45 episodes I have not listened to. So the first thing I said was, as soon as I signed up for this, I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to 10 more episodes. And I just agreed to do it this past week, so I really only had a couple days. So I'm about 5 in, they're an hour each, so I've listened to 5 hours of them. I'm going to listen to 5 more hours before tomorrow. Step number 1, just get familiar with the feel and the vibe. Step number 2 is that I'm just trying to think of cool stuff to talk about. I see other guests, and there's a really wide variety. There's doctors, and then there's that are talking really scientifically about keto and all this different stuff. And there's people that have just had a bunch of success losing weight. There's bodybuilders and nutritionists. There's a really big variation. Of course, there's people like me, not a ton, but there's some other business people on there. And it's just funny that I don't... I like their guests. I think they're cool. And I could go on tomorrow and I could be another good guest. But the truth is, I don't want to be another good guest. I want to be the best, I want to be the best guest. I want them, when we get off the call or the stream, I want them to be like, dude, we love having John on here. I want people that listen to it to think that I'm great, or Keto Bars is cool, or that I'm good at telling stories, or all these different things. So I've been spending a lot of time thinking of ways that I can really be at my best. What can I do to make myself engaging or funny or a good storyteller, or all these different things, because that's super important to me. And on the back end of that, and kind of where I'm going with this entire vlog, is that I'm trying to make myself available to get lucky, or available for more success, or more opportunities is maybe the better word. So I don't know who listens to this podcast. of course, they have like tons of normal people like you and me. But who knows if there's other people that have other podcasts that listen to it. They're always looking for more guests. Maybe, yeah, I just don't know. I don't want to assume anything. So I'll assume the possibilities are endless. That this could be a chain reaction of getting invited to do more things, that there's a buyer from a store, that there's a million possibilities. And those possibilities get me really excited. And it's not even that much of a pipe dream, because things like that have happened to me before. I in one of my other videos, I talk about a really important successful day that I had at Keto Bars, and that was based on the fact that I had written a handwritten note. I was on vacation. I wrote a handwritten note because I didn't have the printout that I normally send. I threw it in a box and sent it out to someone, and that person, what I originally said, I got lucky because they posted a review on Reddit, but in retrospect, I didn't. I did something unusual, handwriting a note, and I included it in an order. That's not normal. People don't expect that. So when you do something unusual or unexpected or over the top, it gathers attention. So in that case, when I sent that letter and that order out to that person, they posted a review on Reddit, it cascaded into all this other stuff. And we ended up having like record sales, and we got a bunch of attention. It introduced a bunch of new customers, repeat customers, people that have never stopped coming back. So it's just funny. I look back at that. I'm like, man, that was really, really important. And I think about it pretty often. And I say, hey, how can I apply that to my life now? Like, what can I do on a daily basis? Or certainly when I have special opportunities like being on a podcast or being on a YouTube video or creating my own content like I am right now. What can I do to put my best foot forward? So like I said, in this case, I listened to a bunch of their podcasts. I just reflected a lot on what has changed since the last time. I rewatched our YouTube video that we did a year ago together, and wrote down some notes on where we've progressed since then, trying to think of good stories. I don't know the questions they're going to ask me, so they could take things in a different direction. So I'm just trying to like be really imaginative on the possibilities and the directions that these questions could go or the conversation could go, so that I have the answers and so that I have good content and that I'm engaging. So the one of the other things, one of the other things that I've also been doing is reading, right? It's so easy to Google stuff. And a book that I've been reading recently, I read it like 10 years ago. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's super famous. So many of you probably already heard of it. It's old. It was written by a guy named Dale Carnegie, I think in the 30s. And I read it like 10 years ago. And I remember when I finished it, I was like, how have I not read this before? It really changed my psychology on a lot of different things. So I picked it back up a couple weeks ago because I wanted to reread it. That was before I knew I was going to be on this podcast. But I'm doing that too now, so I'm cranking as much as I can before tomorrow on that too, thinking like, hey, any last minute thoughts or actions that I can take to improve my performance tomorrow, would be super helpful. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. I, of course, will do, I guess I'll do like a recap of how it goes. Of course, when they publish it in the next couple of weeks, I will post it and people can see and you can let me know how you thought I did. But I just thought it was a worthwhile conversation to have. Like what do you prep for? Like, what do you get ready? Are you doing everything you can do on a daily basis to set yourself up for success? So maybe in the comments below, let me know like the type of stuff that you guys prepare for. Certainly like job interviews or dates or something like that. You think of like good stories or applicable things. So let me know some situations that you have prepped for, and then let me know too what have been some like big successes, like some things that people could say you got lucky on by doing it, but deep inside you know that you were actually prepared or you made yourself available to get lucky in that situation. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and some cool ideas from you guys. See ya.